Barcelona accomplished the most incredible historical comeback. There was a true miracle at Camp Nou. Even though the 2016 to 2017 Champions League was just in its round of 16, the draw promised a historic matchup. PSG pitting the MSN Trio against Barcelona with Cavani, Verratti, and Crewe. However, the first leg didn't go as planned for many people. Impressively, Paris Saint-Germain won 4-0. To be honest, they were capable of scoring much more. Barcelona was essentially eliminated from the competition for many. One guy, nevertheless, had not given up. Neymar Jr., there were a lot of supporters at Camp Nou for the second game who were hoping for a miracle. Suarez opened the scoring with a header. Then there was the personal objective. Barca, who needed 2 goals to force extra time at the very least, went to the locker room at halftime. The third goal then appeared. Messi scored the penalty after Neymar drew it. When that occurred, they only needed one more objective. The supporters were shocked by it. Barcelona now needed to score 3 more goals in order to progress due to the away goals rule, and extra time was not an option. Neymar had not yet given up though. His incredible free kick goal opened the greatest comeback in history. He scored another goal from a penalty kick a short while after. The score was 5-0 at that point. 1. To complete the incredible comeback, Barcelona only needed 1 more goal, and when the ball fell at Neymar's feet, there weren't many seconds remaining. And the miraculous occurred at the very last moment. It wasn't the greatest Champions League comeback though. A miracle happened in the final in Istanbul, in the best match football has ever seen. At the time, Liverpool and Milan were football powerhouses. The English team had Gerrard, Xabi Alonso, and Crewe, who were the main stars of the team, but they were still below Milan, the title favorite. The Italians had one of the strongest squads of all time. Dida in goal, the legendary duo Nesta and Maldini in defense. The midfield boasted Seedorf, Pirlo, and Gattuso. And in attack, none other than Kaká, Shevchenko, and Crespo. And this legendary team lived up to its billing and started stronger. They ended the first half of the final leading 3-0, with a goal coming in the first minute of the game and that fantastic goal from Crespo. For many, Ancelotti's team would easily win another Champions League. But that's when the miracle began in Istanbul. The hero of this match was goalkeeper Dudek, who many Liverpool fans used to dislike. Usually the goalkeeper didn't perform well in matches, but in that final, he was outstanding. It all started with that superb save from the free kick early in the second half, and then the Reds' comeback began, first with that headed goal. 2 minutes later, the second goal came from a rocket shot from outside the box, and suddenly, the fans began to dream of a turnaround. Just a few more minutes later, that penalty was awarded and converted by Zorak. In just 15 minutes, Liverpool managed to equalize the match. The rest of the game was absolute pressure from Milan to try to score the winning goal, but Dudek was on fire. The match ended up going to penalties, where Brazilian Serginho missed his kick from Milan. And then Dudek appeared twice to save the penalties from Pirlo and Shevchenko. He's done it. Terrific stop. The European Cup is returning to England. And that's how the miracle of Istanbul happened. The most extraordinary night of football has a most extraordinary finish. Andriy Shevchenko, who won the trophy. And this time it's for keeps. That trophy isn't going anywhere but Anfield. But there's a match that happened in Brazil that was a true clash of giants. Neymar against Ronaldinho Gaucho. Who was the winner? The game had everything. A goal under the wall, a hat trick, the goalkeeper doing tricks with the ball. It all happened in a Brazilian league match between Santos and Flamengo. Neymar's team ended the first half leading 3-0 with a stunning goal from number 11, who even won the Puskás award that year. Goal. Ronaldinho's team still had the chance to narrow the gap, but the striker missed that goal right under the bar. But it was only in the second half that the Wizard showed Neymar still had a lot of training to do to surpass him. He kick-started Ronaldinho's team's comeback with that goal. A few minutes later, the second goal came. The fans began to believe in the turnaround when a penalty was awarded and the impossible happened. The goalkeeper not only saved it, but did so with style. Felipe. Elano tried to finish it off, but Felipe went for a low pass afterwards. Elano lost the penalty. Ronaldinho seized the momentum and delivered a flawless cross for the striker to score the equalizer. The only problem for the Wizard was that on the other side, there was a Neymar who also wanted to win the match. The guy scored this amazing goal to put his team back in the lead, and that's when Ronaldinho switched on the Wizard mode. After that beautiful play, the star was fouled and worked magic with his free kick. The game was tied again, and shortly after, the Wizard appeared again to score a hat-trick and turn the game around. The match was so epic that it made headlines worldwide. It even caught the attention of Barcelona, who saw Neymar as a potential successor to Ronaldinho. And speaking of Barca, they were part of another epic comeback, but this time they were the victims. One of the semi-finals of the 2018 to 2019 Champions League was between Barcelona and Liverpool, a matchup that seemed poised to be balanced. The only problem for the English team was that Messi ended the first leg with this stunning free kick goal, leading Barcelona to a surreal 3-0 victory. To make matters worse, in the second leg, Liverpool had a bunch of key players missing. Out of their magical attacking trio, only Maine was fit to play. Firmino and Salah watched the game from the stands, but giving up was never an option for Jurgen Klopp's team. Just 7 minutes in, Verratti scored that goal. Cheering after that, Barcelona started pressing, but the second goal of the match was scored by Liverpool. Cheering early in the second half, Wijnaldum scored that goal, and a few minutes later he scored another one. Now Liverpool needed just one more goal to advance to the final, and it came in one of the most brilliant moments in football history. Alexander-Arnold spotted a gap in Barcelona's defense and delivered this amazing corner kick. That was the beginning of the end for Messi's Barcelona, and it was the game that put Liverpool in the Champions League final, where they would defeat Tottenham. But English football has an even better game than this, a match that drove the fans crazy. Cheering, it was a semi-final showdown for a spot in the Premier League, and despite being a match from the second division, it's probably the most thrilling game in English football history. The match was between Leicester and Watford. The first leg ended 1-0 in favor of Leicester, meaning Watford needed to win by a 2-goal margin to advance directly. Watford started stronger and opened the scoring 15 minutes into the first half. Leicester defended as best as they could and tried to exploit counterattacks. Watford managed to score another goal, making it 2-1. But they needed one more goal. Time passed, tension mounted, and then disaster struck for Watford. At the 41st minute of the second half, the referee awarded a questionable penalty to Leicester. It was the golden opportunity for the Foxes to secure their spot in the final, but it's in the darkest moments that heroes emerge. Knocker took the penalty kick and headed for the left corner, but the goalie made an incredible stop. The striker took another shot after the ball rebounded, stopping their celebrations. Another incredible save. What happened next was surreal. Watford regained possession and launched a rapid counterattack to make history happen. Here's Hogg, Dean, do not scratch your eyes. It was an incredible goal, sending Vicarage Road Stadium into a frenzy. Watford players rushed to celebrate with the fans who stormed the pitch. Leicester players fell to the ground, inconsolable. The referee blew the final whistle shortly after. Watford was in the playoff final with that epic victory. This was one of the most thrilling and unforgettable matches in English football history.